We're
The
going right into it.
sauce.
Yeah, let me give a quick shout out real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Cold Ones Conversations. Get the glass, get the hats, the whole
Oh
deal.
wait,
We're
here, hold
rocking
on.
the alma mater.
We
No,
did
don't
this.
pause
We
it.
did this the wrong way.
Don't.
All right, now we're doing it right.
Yeah, open it up, dog. You're late to the stage. Welcome to Cold Ones Conversations, ladies and gents. I'm coming off a 4-3 week. Trilly's coming off of a tremendously bad car wreck. The no survivors, 2-5 type of week, but that's all right. We bounce back. We're glad to have you in studio. We were talking about the sauce, and Trilly, we got to take a moment for the family, because it's my mom's birthday tomorrow.
Crosses up.
Big birthday, crosses up. I'm
Hey,
cooking for
shout out, happy 31st, Mrs. Heaps. We love you.
I'm cooking for 26 who are coming over. We got the ziti. I got the homemade
He doesn't look
goombarine
a day over
sauce.
31.
The goombarine sauce up top. It's in the
Mm.
pot. You know what I'm saying? A few cans of sauce, a few cans of paste, some olive oil, good garlic, peeled garlic, salt every 30 minutes. Cooking that MF for about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. I got to do the beef. I got to do the Mezzi rigatoni. Only real eye ties know what I'm talking about. Shout out the Italian boot. But we're back, baby. This is a football show. This ain't a cooking channel. We got no Gordon Ramsay on this motherfucker. So we don't curse on this, by the way. But yeah, dude, let's do a little recap here. Last week, we're jumping right into it. Well, I think, hold on, first, before we jump into it, I got to talk to you about something. Biggest news right now in Philly sports. Harden's out, baby. On to the Clips.
The bad
On to
man's
the
gone.
Clips.
We can put it on. We
How
can
many
wear the
bad
S
men?
words again.
How many bad men have you had in that organization?
A
First,
lot.
Benny Sim,
A lot.
then Jimmy Buckets, who goes on and has gotten to
Nah. We want Jimmy
titles.
back. We want Jimmy back.
Then this guy who claims he's a fatty. He's going to shoot the three once he gets to you. Couldn't make a three.
Harry, he is a system. All right.
He is a system. That's what he says. So what do you think, man?
That's
I mean,
just what he calls his
what
gut, you know?
what is this? What are the Sixers looking at now this year? What's the Sixers' potential? Break it down and break down what's happened since he left the room.
This is an actual basketball team. It's not, superstars. It's Joel's team, and you got a bunch of nice guys around him. You got some dogs around him, and Pat Bev, and yeah, and you brought in Kelly Oubre. He's a legit scoring option for you.
Oubre, Kelly Oubre.
Dude, you heard it here on BSP podcast. I wanted those are the two guys I wanted going to this offseason. If you're gonna make any moves, it's those two guys. And Oubre's putting up 25 a game for you.
Yeah, he's real
not
deal.
missing a beat. I mean, the guy's good. They both got attitude to them that matches Philadelphia. I love it. The rest of the team's kind of falling into place. You got a new head coach in there that's making the world of difference right now. It's a different attitude with this team. It's not just going through the motions, scheduled losses. This team's going out there to compete every night, and it's actually fun to watch them, unlike it was in the previous years. Like, this team has some talent. Tyrese Maxey's electric. Yep. I'm not saying they're going to win anything yet, but,
Yeah, let's not even do that.
Well,
please.
Yeah.
I mean,
this team is more enjoyable than it has been in the past. There's no more issues as of right now.
As of now.
Well, the chalkboard has been written. We erased it. It's been 4 days since there's been an incident, so we'll see how long that goes.
We'll see how long it lasts. It's like somebody out in LA telling you that they're giving up drinking while a Rolling Rock is in their hand. You know what I mean? It's like that's what you're talking about. That's what the Sixers are.
We're not like you're on a diet, you're giving up alcohol except for vodka.
Wait, do we want to talk to the audience about the diet right now? Do we want to go into that?
It's going well. It's going pretty well.
Good. Break them down. What are we looking at? What's our numbers? How many grams of protein are we absorbing a day, dog?
I don't know. I got it all on the Fitbit app. I'm actually not wearing it right now. I'm charging the good old Fitbit as we speak. But yeah, it's easy. You can scan the stuff you're putting on and it goes right to the app. Good stuff. Halloween was a little rough with the candy because it's kind of. You had to have a couple.
How many kids? How many trick or treaters you have come to the land?
People were complaining about there being no trick or treaters. We got wiped out within 45 minutes of all of our candy.
Have you noticed that as the years have progressed, trick or treating has gotten earlier and earlier?
Yeah,
like kids are at your door by 4:45, 5:15. Back in our day, dog,
I was 6:30.
I was hitting doors back in my day. I was a 7:15 guy. I was trick or treating until 9:30 at night.
I was out on the stoop till about 7:45.
Right.
And
You,
then we
you,
turned the light off, you had to let
you
the
have
kids
to.
know.
You
Yeah.
got to let them know. Listen, shop's closed, dog. Did you ever hit a house? Did you ever hit a house that the lights just went out and you said to yourself, they got to have something? I did that a few times growing up. I saw them as they were turning out the light. I ran to the door.
That's the walk of shame for them though.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Uh,
sometimes they got something good in the back. It's sometimes they were holding on to a few pieces for
all
themselves.
they got in the back is maybe some ramen, maybe a bag of chips, some floss, and a toothbrush
Absolutely.
for you.
A Dots pretzel, possibly. At a
Maybe,
at a
maybe.
minimum. At a minimum.
Maybe like something like underneath, like, all the way in the back left corner that's been sitting there like a box of pasta or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, Borelli. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Fucking name is Pepperelli for all the Tony Sopranos out there. All right, dude. Let's talk about last week. I went 4-3. We're still hitting at a nice 54%. Combined as a combined show, we're hitting it plus money. We're in the green. You brought us down a few paces, but that's all right. But you've been
We were
riding
hyping
high.
me up too much. It is what it is.
You were hyping
We
yourself up.
missed by. I mean, my Eagles lock at 10 points. That was an absolute.
That was on. We got to talk about the division. Yeah, dude. The Commanders have become your Pittsburgh Steelers for me.
I mean, they've been it for the last couple of years. I mean,
But dude, these guys, they know how to play you with a quarterback who looks like that he might have cerebral
I
palsy.
told you he looks like he's Peyton Manning when he plays the Eagles.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
And he
dude,
was
it's
making
crazy.
good throws.
Manning, I remember that. That's coming back to me on
Yeah, you're
Sunday.
you're texting me. What's going on? I said it's Peyton Manning out there. I
Manning.
don't know what
Yeah.
you want me to do.
Yeah.
I can't do
Yeah.
anything when you're playing Peyton and the big ass forehead. Like the
It's
guy was
true.
slinging it.
It's
Guys
true.
were wide open, and
Yep.
they made adjustments in the second half. They gave up 7 points because of that stupid backdoor cover
Yep.
at the very end where we were up 14. We were good at the 10, and they just let them go right down the freaking field, man. But whatever. Yeah, I mean, the defense made adjustments in the second half, and they got
It
it done.
happens.
Why don't they do that to start games? Who freaking knows? But I don't know. I don't know.
Well, let's jump back. Let's jump back into it. We got to talk about the greatest team right now in football, the number one team in the league. No doubt about
We
it.
just talked about them.
The Baltimore Ravens. The
Are they 7
Baltimore
and 1?
Ravens. Huh?
Are they 7-1?
No, but you know what they are? A two-time champ. All right, now back to it. Back to it. Back to it.
You know what I saw the other day? I sent it to you too. Most playoff wins.
I know. We're
2000s.
tied. We're tied.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I sent it out of respect.
Out of respect. No, listen, we are always, I think that we are always looking for a ball. We want a Ravens Eagles battle. We want that.
Do we go to Vegas this year if it happens?
If it's, yeah, I mean, I think we're getting a plane now. We might be flying Spirit. Do we make it there? I don't know. You know what
drive?
I mean? But not with the type of farts that you cut. No, dog. With the type of farts
I'm
that
a
you
ask
cut.
Ben. Ben and I did a 14-hour drive. I was a respectful ride. I'm a good
It was.
conversationalist. We'll throw cold ones on the whole way.
The whole way.
Maybe record an episode or two while we drive.
If it's Raven, I'll do it with you. If it's Ravens Eagles, we're going to Vegas. We'll at least be outside in a bar, without a doubt. All right, but let's jump into it, dude. I mean, back-to-back weeks where the Ravens offense has just been there at the same level, if not even higher, than the Ravens defense. Ravens defense definitely let a good amount of points on the board, especially towards the end. I think that John Harbaugh kind of gave up with coaching towards the end. It was kind of odd. But dude, I mean, you can't tell me right now. Let's just talk about the AFC, right? Bengals are back. There's no doubt about it. The injuries are over, right? But you can't tell me right now that there is not a clear indicator that the Baltimore Ravens cannot compete with anyone for that AFC title right now. I mean, dude, you just had Kansas City for the first time lose to Denver, and they got slapped in the face by them. We've talked about it about the past couple of weeks. Patrick's taken way too many chances at times. Now, I'm still a realist. I know that he's going to have a deep playoff run. I know who this team is, but I'm just talking about reality. We're talking about a team right now who, yes, has a very good defense, and yes, has probably going to be the second greatest quarterback of all time in Patrick Mahomes. But are you going to tell me right now, dude, that if the Baltimore Ravens can't keep playing this way, they're not a shoo-in for an AFC championship and possibly a Super Bowl berth? I mean, who right now is better than them in the AFC, if we're being honest?
I mean, yeah, especially a lot of teams over there have been struggling the past couple weeks for
Yeah.
sure. With the Chiefs faltering, and when Patty, two hamburgers over there, comes
Patty
out and
McDouble
he's just like
cheeseburger.
they covered 87 well, and he gives credit to him. Well, if 87 gets locked up, that's probably the recipe to win
That's
against
the
the Chiefs right
game.
now, because the rest of
That's
these
the
guys
game.
can't catch. Make Tony, make the rest of these wide receivers have to catch 5+ balls.
Yep.
They have yet to do it this season.
You're right.
And those are the reasons they've lost football games, is
Yep.
because when against Detroit, against Denver now, is when Tony and the other wide receivers have had to come up and make plays. They just haven't been able to do it. So if you can shut down 87, not saying that, it's a lock that you're going to win the football game, but
Sure.
it's kind of stupid how simple that is, and that teams are finally starting to figure that out.
Yeah. But let's also be honest. In the past, that wasn't the solution, because if you were locking up 87, you had 10 all day long.
Yeah.
Right. And you made a comment a couple weeks ago on this show, which I didn't really agree with, and it's kind of been proven to be incredibly true. But Checo's not a superstar yet.
Yeah,
He's good.
I know you love the Rutgers, but
He's good. Well, I just love how he's. I've never seen a guy rep the ruck like that before. I mean, dog, he showed up to the Super Bowl parade, head to toe, toe to head. Shout out DJ Khaled Cappuccino in Rutgers gear. Who does that? Who does that but Isaiah Pacheco, right? No, man, I think it's interesting. Again, they are not someone to be messed with when it comes to playoff time. But the truth of the matter is, dude, right now, the AFC is wide open for the Baltimore Ravens. It's not as open for Miami as we would have said a couple weeks ago, right? Because we made the point they're not there yet to beat good teams. But I think, I wonder, are the two teams that possibly are going to be the most viable to overtake Kansas City? It's 100% Baltimore. And dude, I'll tell you right now, if the Bengals can stay healthy, dude, they're back.
They're the team that's kind of coming back now, that you've been waiting for them to get healthy.
It's that, and
divisional game, you guys play each other well all the time. But now you got an offense that's clicking now.
It's that, and dude, another. Oh, sorry. Sorry, my beat. You were delayed. I didn't mean to talk over you. What were you saying, brother?
No, I was just saying, the Bengals, it's a divisional game. You guys always play each other up, but now you got an offense now that can kind of run with them.
Yes. No, 100%. Well, and we saw what we did in week 2 or 3 when we went to their house. We knew that they were going to score.
Burrow and everybody was still banged up. I'm saying now that they're healthy,
right.
You still have a team that you can have faith that you can still run with them, even when they're healthy. What's going on with the defense there, though? I mean, 24 points to an Arizona team.
I don't know what we did there, dude. We kind of let a few things go.
I know. I mean, I'm not going to nitpick too much. Defenses can go up and down, but yeah, it was a little weird.
Was, right?
And now all of a sudden, Josh Dobbs is out of there. We'll talk about the deadline in a little bit, but yeah, it's an interesting situation for that team for sure.
Yeah,
in Arizona.
Well, dude,
I mean, took the gas pedal off a little bit.
I think so. I think that we kind of knew that we had won the game when you have a guy like Edwards running up and down the field on you, scoring left and right.
I know, the Gus Bus is in motion finally.
Yeah. I mean,
finally got that number one guy kind of cooking
and solidified. You know what I mean?
He wants to take more loads this week. Did you hear about that? He wants more and more loads.
I mean, listen, dog, if he can handle it, he can handle it. Please, we're a PG show here. At times we go R. Right now we're going X. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, he's there. He's the guy right now. I think that the biggest hole right now isn't the defense. Defense had one off week in 8 weeks so far. I'm not going to sweat that. You know what I'm saying?
No. Sure.
But I think the thing to me that's very interesting is how, as we get later and later in the season, we need OBJ to finally score. Like I said, I just got the new jersey. We need something to come out of him, dude, because I told you, if you remember, when we made this signing this past offseason, I had mentioned that I believed that probably as we get towards halfway through the season, going into week 9, 10, 11, I was thinking that we were going to offer OBJ a multi-year deal, a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, and have him end his career in Baltimore. Right now, dude, if I'm Steve Bisciotti, I'm not putting up that type of money, dude.
Bushati.
He's gotten too injured. He's been there week after week, but guys have found ways to close him off. Sometimes he's just, dude, you have Aguilar out there who's been a more effective weapon than Odell Beckham Jr. for Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. 15's been a real addition to our offense this year, dude. With what Todd Monken has come up with for Lamar, 15's doing some good stuff for us, man. Outside of Zay Flowers, outside of 89, you got Likely every once in a while getting a taste. Edwards, like you just said, has now become that number one guy. But 15 is kind of taking those catches that I thought that 3 was going to be getting.
Yeah, he's not dropping babies right now.
No.
He's not.
So, and he was, yeah. All right, let's not put out a tagline on the guy yet, please. I mean, come on. What I want to know is, let's transition a little bit and let's jump into a different team here that I want to get your kind of eyes on, and then we can either talk a few more games or go into bets. What is Cleveland? What are they, dude? Are they a team that somehow, some way is going to be, are they going to become that team that no one wants to play down the stretch? Is that who they are? Because they've won and lost games with this guy that they gave an unreal deal to. They've won and lost games with a backup. They've got arguably the second best defense in the league that took it. In my opinion right now, top 5 defenses are number 1, Eagles, number 2, Cleveland, number 3, Baltimore, number 4, San Francisco, and then number 5 is
I like Pittsburgh's.
Pittsburgh's probably. And they weren't doing too good through weeks 1 and 3, right? But now they're kind of back. But what is this Cleveland team? Because I see them, depending especially how they play some in-division rivals, they still got us to play at home. They still got the Steelers to play at Cleveland. Who are they?
They are what their quarterback is, unknown. I mean, that's what they are.
Yeah.
I think you're maxed out. Oh, excuse me. You're maxed out on PJ Walker. Temple guy, Temple made Temple proud, but he can't give you more than 2-3 games for a team right now in the NFL. The offense is kind of maxed out potential wise. If they still had Chubb and a lead back to lean on there, then maybe that offense can still click. But with Watson being shoulder problems, he doesn't know what's going on mentally, blah, blah, blah. They're just kind of stuck in limbo there with a head coach where he's kind of had some interesting decisions over his tenure there also.
I think he's real, though. Don't you? I think he's the real deal.
I think so. I mean, but when it comes down to it, I mean, they just keep getting into these situations where they need one thing to go their way, where they go and seize it, and they just kind of, it's one step forward, 2 steps back, it seems like every time. Right when you think the Browns are legit and they're for real, then all of a sudden they come way back to the pack, and you're like, okay, like why do we think that in the first place? Right. And that's the way it's been for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
No.
What did I tell you though, dude? What did I tell you about? I mean, I know that we didn't touch the game, but I told you, dude, all the dumb money was going to be on Cleveland for that game.
Yeah.
Plus that 4.5. And they go ahead.
Seattle's great either, to be honest.
Oh, neither do I. I think that unfortunately they were a team that I was too hot on going into the offseason. I was talking up Seattle this whole time, right? I kind of thought that they would be where the Lions are right now, right? And the Lions are kind of, it's crazy to say, but the Detroit Lions, and I'm bringing this back to Cleveland, the Detroit Lions in half of the time are who the Miami Dolphins are now. They have a dynamic offense with a quarterback who works, with a real deal head coach that can win games big time, right? And beat up on really bad teams. They can try to keep it close with the top of the league, but at the end of the day, they're going to lose to the top 10%. And I think the thing is that that's what I thought Seattle was. I thought that Seattle was going to be that team. You know, could they possibly hang with the Eagles at times? Could they possibly hang with the 49ers at times? Could they be that third to fourth team in the NFC? And you're right, they're not. They're not that team.
They got the big boy defensive tackle from the Giants, though, which is a big step for them.
What did you think about that move for the Giants, by the way? I know we're moving away from Cleveland. Let's end this Cleveland conversation with this.
I thought it was good.
No, I love
though, because
they're
the team that won the football game here. We got to give them some respect.
We got to give them. Well, so let me ask you, what's the Seahawks outlook right now? I mean, can this Seahawks team end with 11 wins? That's the yes or no right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So then they got a playoff berth coming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're number one in the division right now.
Yeah.
Because the team that was supposed to be the best team in football has sucked and continues to suck. And they think they're going to get better, but they just suck. And they have a guy that we talked about. Well, I kind of want to transition to that game, but to wrap up the Seahawks here, they have so much talent with Pete Carroll at the helm there that they can kind of start to figure this out. Now, is Geno going to be able to get you over that hump? I don't know. I mean, I feel like DK Metcalf could be so much more. This offense could be so much more.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Why, why can't he get 100 yards? Why? I don't get it.
It took up until last week Lockett was in a 4-week slump until last week. And I bet him his money was too good at plus 310. And I told everybody, take that. Nobody wanted to listen to me. What did I say?
Jack Smith and Jigba there too now. Like you got some weapons there that's too good for them not to be able to score points. And they just feel like a team that they can't get over that 24-point margin.
What is it going to take for us to tongue kiss on camera as a side note? All right. Let's end it out, dude.
The Super Bowl.
Okay, let's.
So it's very possible. I'm willing to do it for a Super Bowl.
What are we doing with a Raven win? No pants? Wow, that would be crazy. No. Dude, let's talk about the worst game and the game that I told you. Shout out Jimmy. J-E-T. Dude, do you want to know something crazy? He took that clip. By the way, I'm posting it again this coming week. The clip that I screen recorded, the clip of me doing the rant about the Battle of East Rug. He clipped his section where I said, shout out Jimmy, surviving cancer. We don't talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. And he put it at the end of an official Instagram post.
Nice.
So awesome.
Nice. Man, he's got to put it up and tag us. That Cold One Conversation.
I'm going to I'll text
follows us.
I'll text him to tag us, and I'll have him put it on his story for this coming week. Seriously, I'll text him right after this.
Everybody follow us Twitter, Instagram. We got to get the followers up. We got to get the subscribers up.
Straight up.
Keep it rolling.
Let's keep it
going.
You
want to clip stuff for us, like, the big podcasts out there, and throw Temple Run and everything else below it, and post it on TikTok and everything us. We would love it. It's just a lot of extra work. We're trying to keep it rolling, but subscribe, follow, and let's keep it rolling. But yeah, let's get out of this game. That game stinks.
No, but I want to ask you about it. But this is my question, though. These are my 2 points, because we got to talk about these two New York teams. I got to go back to this point that I have been making. How good are you going to really sit here and tell me that with Zach Wilson at the helm, if you had Ocho in there, are you really going to tell me that the Jets are not right now at the top of the AFC East? I mean, dude.
No, they are.
They are. They would be the team that I said they were going to be.
This team is not for sure. Would this defense be playing that well with Ocho there? Or do you think they're stepping up to another level because they know they have to right now?
No, I think that they would. I think that this is who they are.
I think so too. It's just, something I want to throw.
It's something that, but here's why I say that. I say that because if anything, I would say to myself, don't put that. I would think that they would go into the point of don't put that much in, don't risk the injury. We don't have our guy this year. The season doesn't matter anyway.
Nah. I think him giving them hope that he's
He's
gonna
come
come
back.
back,
Right.
that's what's making them, hey, if we can
Okay.
stay,
I can see that.
if we can stay a couple games above 500 when A-Rod comes back and we give him a chance, he can get us to that next level.
He can get us there. Dude, I can see that. I
They
see what
lose
you're
this
saying there.
game with a -6 yard passer on the other side of the football, which should have happened.
Happened.
That's a big loss right there. That would have been a big loss for the Jets, just morally, just for the side of the defense is doing everything they can. And we've been trying to ride Zach. We've been trying to give him positivity, and you can do this. And just be able not to score more than 10 points in that situation where the defense held them to -6 yards passing. I mean, that would just be devastating for East Rutherford up there.
So my question to you is in the transition, because we know who Ocho is, we know what's going to happen. Was signing Daniel Jones the worst signing in the last 5 years?
I mean, I would have to think about it, but I mean, it's definitely one of them.
Let me ask you
signing
this.
him and giving him guaranteed money over Saquon Barkley, I think, is more the worst move.
So here's my question to you as an Eagle fan and an Indivision fan.
He deserves more money.
What's worse? No, let's be real, though, for a second. What's worse? The signing right now for Daniel Jones or the signing for Carson Wentz with where we saw that went?
I mean, Carson Wentz, you flipped off of him and you got Jalen Hurts. You were a quarterback factory.
I understand that, but let's say that didn't happen. What guy, what movement, like, are the Giants going to be in a better position than the Eagles could have been? Because for a minute there, dude, it was like you gave this money to this guy who then was getting hurt, and then he was not wanting to be with the system, and then he gets Dougie P out. Like, is Daniel Jones going to be able to convince the Giants organization get rid of Dable? Because we see what Dougie P is. Dougie P goes down to Jacksonville, and he's a winner.
I see.
Okay, so what do you think?
I see. And Carson's out of the league. No, that is a good question then. If it's going to be who they pick. Oh, I got a tickle in my throat. Sorry.
Go right. It's all right. Ooh, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Petrilli with a tickle in his throat. Let's give a quick homage to Cole One's Conversations. It's that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen, where the colds come around and the tickles in the throat are the worst of the year. Why don't you pick yourself up a Cole One's Conversation glass, fill it up with something nice and strong, and soothe that throat, baby. Cole One's Conversations. PhillyDrinkers.com. We love you, Philly Drinkers. We're back to the show.
But yeah, it's interesting because I think they got to go with the quarterback, right? Because getting off that money is going to be brutal because who's going to want him?
Yep.
The dead cap space. You already are trading for assets. The thing that they're going to sell it is you get rid of Dable, which I think is the wrong move. Think is the wrong move, but
totally.
They're going to do it because they're going to bring in somebody that's going to say, I can fix him.
Wow.
We have draft picks.
Wow.
To surround him with guys. We have somewhat of a defense, even though you traded one of your big pieces away. And somebody's going to say, I can fix him. Bring me in here. We can turn around in 2 years with a couple picks.
So you actually think that this is on the forefront of happening? You think that Dable, if this season keeps going this way, is Dable out?
I think so. I think he would want out. I mean, kind of the way Dougie did. Like Dougie wanted out by the end of it. It wasn't just, we fired our head coach. He wanted to be fired. He was kind of sick and tired of the situation.
Right.
And it was a mutual thing. I think it's going to be a mutual thing with Dable and the Giants when it comes down to it. He was like, hey, look, I got him to where he got the big money, and now he gets the big money. He doesn't step up. What happened to those years where I got him there? I was the one that got him there. And now all of a sudden he stinks? Like, that's not me.
Is Dable, so let me ask you a question. Are you of the same opinion of me? And then we got to pause because I got to stir the Goomba sauce, and then we'll do the picks. Are you of the same opinion as me that Brian Dable, without a doubt, he is a head coach? There's no question in my mind. So is he going to be, if this goes the way that we're talking about right now,
he's the top guy next offseason that teams want?
Is he the answer for the Raiders?
Want him? What?
Is he the answer?
The Raiders are going to want him. Washington's going to want him. You know, maybe the Patriots.
You don't think wait a second. You don't think that Washington trusts Bieniemy?
Oh, just elevate him. Good point. Good point. I was just thinking getting rid of Rivera. No, good point there.
They elevate him, I think, for sure. I think that he goes to the silver and black for sure.
You're on good points right now, Harold. You're clicking. My brain's a little slow. I just
It's a
woke up
little
from a
soft
nap.
right now. It's that Sixers gear is what's doing it to you. Hit pause. I gotta go stir the sauce. Hit the
Am I?
sauce. Hit the sauce.
I'll hit the sauce. The sauce has been stirred. We're rocking and rolling. Before we
On
get
to the
into the
next.
picks, though, we called it. We didn't think Brock Purdy was going to play in this game. Threw
Oh
for
my god.
360 yards,
Yep.
but they got their butts smacked.
Yep.
Smacked by the
Yep.
Bengals. We
Yeah.
thought they were going to try to hide him a little bit and show, and put off that he can't win a big game against a big team. But they threw him out there in the fire week
Yep.
after a concussion, and he played okay numbers wise, but eye test wise, watching that football game, their defense is a mess. Their offense is a mess without the your two guys in
Yep.
Debo and Williams. Brock, he's human. He's not.
Is he Tua? Is he like Tua?
What do you mean by that? That he needs everything in the right situation for him, or
No. Well, no. What I mean by that is he's just he's he's there to beat. He's there to beat some teams, the middle of the pack and the bad, but he can't compete with that top 10%. He can't compete with the Eagles yet.
I think
Got
that's
hurt.
unfair of Tua.
So okay, why do you say that? No, I'm saying, listen, dude, Tua's gonna get there. Tua, I've said it before. If Tua keeps playing the way he's playing, he needs to get a contract.
Yeah.
This is the second year we've said this. This is the second year where Tua's finally had the same offensive coordinator for 2 years in a row. Tua's right on track. Purdy, on the other hand, has even more than Tua has an offensive guru as a head coach who's calling the plays and has more talent, huh?
He stinks, their head coach.
And has more talent than anybody. So my question to you is, to kind of cut you off at your point here, are the 49ers a ship lost at sea where you've got everything but the main driver? Because right now, dude, we're seeing it. You got it, NFC Championship right now. Eagles, 49ers back in Philadelphia. It's the same result. Even if Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt, it's the same
100%.
result.
100%.
Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. There's no question.
I agree with that.
I know you do, but I'm not like saying it as a homer. I'm being dead honest. The same result happens.
That game 100% shows that for sure.
Yes.
That he can't compete in big time football games. Like,
yes.
He can win you football games. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But when it comes down to it, even before he got hurt in that game, the Eagles were just all over him.
Yep.
They moved the ball a little bit, but they were all over him. I am not worried if he is going down with the football in his hands. I'm not like Patrick Mahomes has the ball, or even I don't know,
totally
like
Burrow,
Burrow, Rodgers,
yep.
He's nowhere close to that level.
Lamar, come on.
No, I'll give Lamar a little bit of credit. He's definitely above Purdy that I'd be way more scared of. 100%.
The thing about Lamar in that situation is the Ravens, they just don't have that they don't have that play scheme. Like thankfully, because of our defense, in all honesty, we're never in a position where our quarterback has 90 seconds to make the game-winning move.
Yeah, has he had to go? Have you guys had any comeback?
The only time the only time that happened was the 34 to 33 win 2 years ago against KC in Baltimore, and that win came off of a defensive forced fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Our defense is, that's Baltimore's DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That's Ray Lewis. That's Ed Reed.
Yeah, like I've seen Jalen Hurts go down the field just last week and go get me wins. I can expect that to happen. I don't think you can expect that from Brock Purdy. Brock, you got a minute. Go get me a touchdown. He did get them in field goal range against Cleveland, and they did miss the kick. And they almost gutted out a gritty win there. But guess what? You still lost. You should have got yourself a little closer. Or he scored the touchdown. So
yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting to see where this team goes. They added a guy that had 1 tackle, 0 sacks, 0 pressures the
Yep.
week before against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Jordan Mailata on the left side. So, I mean, but he's a stud from everything I hear. Well, we'll see how it plays out there out in San Fran. Yeah, their defense is an issue too. Like
Yep.
that, missing D'Amico Ryans big time as a play caller on that side. So we'll see. You wanna
He's
try to
the
get it?
real deal, dude. He's another real deal guy. I mean, like we've said it over and over on this show, but like you see what happens when certain guys like Jalen, right, has had to adjust to not having the guy now who's in Indianapolis. He's had that adjustment period. D'Amico Ryan going to be the head coach of the Texans. We've seen what's happened, right? There are some teams that even with all that talent, you've got to have a top tier coach. Before we hit picks, I want to ask you right now. I'd love to do. We haven't done it in weeks. I'd love to do top 5 QBs going into week 9.
Yeah. It's about time.
It's about time.
There's been a big shakeup in quarterbacks too. A couple guys getting banged up.
100%.
Kirk going down. We love you, Kirk. Sorry.
Shout out
RIP
Creed.
to that
Shout out
Achilles.
Creed. Shout out the summer of '99 tour. Don't
Right.
even get me started.
Right.
Can you
Let's
see
go.
from the top? 1, 2. So let's
Let's
go
go.
there. Let's make it. All right, we're back in the
You
show.
can sign us to a record label also, along with the $100 million deal. But
Can you just tell the people though, who's the day one Creed fan, please?
no, yeah, Harry was. He's been all over it. He got John Salerno all over it, who acts like he's the #1 Creed fan in the world.
Thank you.
But,
Oh, I don't even talk to me about him right now. He's on ice right now. He bought the guy
on ice.
He got the guy goes.
Gee, we love you, John. That gets out. That's a bad.
Yeah,
that's bad. That's a bad look.
That might be an edit
John.
out. That might be an edit out.
Yeah. We love our troops.
I'm not even getting into this right now. The point is,
and Benny and the Jets.
Benny and the Jets. Yeah. Benny and the Jets. But Betty and the Jets. All right, number 1 for me. This is my top 5. Ready? Creed for life. This is the Creed hierarchy QBs. That's what this show concept is called. The Creed top 5. The Creed top 5. At number 1 for Harry Heaps, you got Jalen. That's number 1, without a doubt about it. He's number 1. He's doing his thing.
Wow.
Number two, I'm keeping it real. I'm being honest. Number 2, without a doubt, who's right on his heels, is Lamar effing Jackson, Action Jackson, aka Zinging and Zanging Action Jackson. Number 2. Number 3 right now, coming out of nowhere. Number 3, you gotta give it to Tua. You gotta give it to Tua. Tua's back at 3. You got 4, Burrow. 5, Patrick Mahomes. You got 1 NFC quarterback in there, and the rest are all AFC guys. There's not a single other right now top 5 NFC quarterback. No way.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say a name, but he's not NFC. Does Trevor have a chance to get in there if Tua slips up?
If Tua slips up, absolutely. But I wouldn't put Trevor up at the 3 or 4. I would elevate Patrick.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You move the other guys up.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, dude.
I don't hate that. I mean, we're talking when we clip this and everybody's, oh my God, how do you have Patrick Mahomes all the way down there after one bad week? That's what we're doing here. We're reacting to week 8. All right. Dude, after this week, that's what it is here.
You're reacting. Wait a second. We're reacting to multiple weeks, ladies and gentlemen, of picks left and right.
All right.
Left and right, dog. Let's just call it how it is.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
That's the Creed top 5.
We'll leave that in there.
Jalen 1, Lamar 2, Tua 3, Burrow at 4, and Fatty McPatty McDouble Cheeseburger at 5.
Yeah, man. Top 5. The NFC is brutal when it comes to quarterback play.
Outside of golf, it's pretty bad.
Brutal. Mm-hmm. Wow, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl again. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you weren't you would if the Eagles and the 49ers were not in the NFC Championship, something catastrophic must have happened injury-wise. Like, genuinely, if we're having a real conversation. Like those guys, you just got to be there. You know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, dude. Let's hit it. Going into week 9, it's time for the unders, the underdogs, the faves, and the overs, the HTL and the HTLP, sponsored by Philly Drinkers. We want more sponsors. Subscribe, view, share, like. God, I am on a roll. You know what? You got to keep up, dog. All right. For our
I'm telling
first
you, it's the nap. I just rolled out.
uh,
I
well,
literally, the bed's right there. I rolled over. I sat in the chair.
hit me with your first under and underdog.
Under. Oh, okay. I was
Go
ready
ahead,
to
Big
put mine
Tro.
on. Well, just before we get into that, real quick,
Go
we had a
ahead.
big weekend. It's Dallas week in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and if you know anything, if you've been following BSP podcasts, you see the vlogs. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit this weekend down at the tailgates. Harold, you might have to come up because if everybody's watching, you know my cousin Sean, he's the homie, and he's having the Eagles come, and the Philadelphia Eagles are coming, and they're recording us at the tailgate, and they're doing like a tailgate series and stuff and putting it together, and it's a spotlight for C6. And it's going to be absolutely insane. It's been crazy there. Matt Gorick will be there from Next Level Chef and the Gorick boys. I mean, he's the man. They're going to have an alligator there that they're cooking up all morning. And we're going to have alligator cheesesteaks,
Oh my God.
bites, like I think like lamb chops. It's going to be sick. C6, where I'm working on getting us free beer, which is kind of sick too. We just got to hear back from the freaking Eagles so I can send it to the beer people. But anyway, if you're in Philadelphia, you need to come to C6. It's the Wells Fargo lot along like Broad Street, along the fence. You got to be there. It's going to be electric. Hell of a time. Go check out the previous vlogs to fact check me because you know this time we actually do fact check. True. It's awesome time at C6. We love the boys there. Let's have some fun. But of course, when we get into the picks for this week,
Wait,
to kind of what?
you're just gonna pause over. You're eating gator in the city of Philadelphia. I mean,
Yeah, dude,
dog,
it's
like that's
sick.
kind of crazy, dog.
Dude, it's sick, right? It's gonna
Eating
be
gator.
fire.
Talk to him, Big Trail.
I told you,
Eating
you might
gator.
have to come. You might have to come up, dude.
It's a 4:25 kickoff. We'll see what we can make happen. Well, I got the Ravens game though, dude. And I might be at the
We're gonna
Turtle, the new
watch it.
Turtle.
We got the TV out there. We'll have the game on.
All right.
They're a 1 o'clock game, right? Or
Yeah,
no?
they are 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
But
we'll have the TV out in the thing. We'll have
I
Red
might
Zone on.
I might be going to a tailgate though for this game. We got to see. I'll let you know what's going on.
You're
And
not
I
going to
can't.
a tailgate better than this. I'm telling you that. You're not.
You're not going. All right. Give me your first under and underdog, dude. I got to get back to the sauce.
With that, we're going under 44.5 Baltimore Seahawks.
Really?
Yeah.
Break
I think
that
the Ravens
down for
offense
me.
is
That's
gonna
interesting.
what? The Ravens
Break that
offense
down
is
for
due
me.
for a little bit of a scuttlebutt. I don't love the Seahawks offense right now. I think that Ravens defense is pretty legit. I normally never bet unders. I say I never bet unders ever. But yeah, I just don't love that situation there where the Seahawks got better on defense with the defensive linemen there. They're a team that can get after it a little bit. I think it might be an interesting one down there in Baltimore this weekend. I'm thinking like an ugly 17-13 game where the Ravens pull this one out.
I like it. I have my opinions that I'll give later on in the show about the Ravens. Easy pick for me. I think it's probably the easiest pick on the board. It's a pick 'em. Plus 1.5 on the road. New York Giants, the Raiders. If the Giants cannot capitalize off of this dumpster fire that is the Raiders,
New coach though.
new coach,
Does that give you anything?
new coach.
He wants to feel his guys. He was a former player. They felt him. He's gonna feel them.
How did that go over when the Colts hired a former player?
They won the very first game.
Did they?
Yes. And then they almost beat the Eagles, but the Eagles came back and won. So
I remember that game.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then it got ugly.
But let me ask you this.
That first game is an interesting one.
But don't you think that this fire that is under this Giants organization is much hotter than a player v player coach mentality? Dude, it's like if you can't beat the Raiders, who can you beat?
Yeah. Dable might get fired right then if they lose that game.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, and
Yeah.
that's not even a joke. That's like
No.
real. That's a
Yeah.
real deal thing. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So
No, I
yeah,
don't. I
dude,
don't hate the pick.
I like the Giants plus the 1.5. Easy on the road.
Just keep an eye out on that though. That's all I'm saying.
Well, here's what it is. It's either the Giants cover or they get blown out. It's one or the other.
Yeah. All right. Next one. What do we think about this one? Monday Night Football. Do we love the Jets that much that they can win this football game against the Chargers?
I'm holding my pick. Do you want to? I'm holding my pick.
Are you gonna go Chargers there?
The Jets are going to be my lock.
Oh, you are gonna go
Yeah,
Jets.
I'm going
I
heavy on the
saw it. I
Jets.
knew you would like it.
I'm
I
going
like
heavy
it
on the
too.
Jets.
A field goal,
Yep.
100%. Three and
Yeah.
a half. Yeah, give
Yeah.
me the Jets.
Okay. Jets plus the 3.5 for you.
Yeah,
I hate
not
that
my
you.
lock, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think that they it actually has nothing to do with the Jets, though I'm going to be clipping last week's episode to put over this pick. It has everything to do with the Chargers. The Chargers are coming off of this massive win last week at home in a primetime game, Sunday Night Football. I was in the Turtle, the brand new Turtle down in Towson. If you're a long time listener to the show, first time, long time, whatever you are, I tell you about Gunner. You know what he's doing, but we've been a clean episode ever since I told you what he was doing. So I got to pull back. I was down in the new Turtle watching Justin Herb. Let's make one thing clear, dude. We love Justin Herbert on this show. We do not love the coaching staff. They are going to take a massive step back. This defense is going to come to play. They're going to hurt this kid's ribs. They're going to lock up guys like Keenan Allen, who was pretty much a no-show last week. Austin Eckler, I think, is going to have a very hard time getting past that going past that defensive line. I love the Jets here. I do. And I love them simply because I think that the Chargers they're one of those teams that can only ride their success so high. I think that's the perfect way to put it. They can only ride their success so high. They beat a bad team in Chicago, and they're going against what they think is another bad team who's got arguably, without a doubt, a top 6, top 7 defense right now in the league. If they had a quarterback, they'd be a top 5 team overall. So, yeah, I think the Chargers take a step back.
Yeah.
Okay, but I got to give you my next underdog. Dude, am I crazy? Again, another pick 'em. I like them here, dude. I can't believe. I mean, maybe. Okay, tell me if I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid. Is everyone taking this bet, Trill? Bills plus 1.5 on the road
I
to the
thought the
Bengals.
same thing.
Is everybody
I
betting
did
that?
think the same thing.
That's the only scary thing. Like, I feel like everyone would be taking the
It's
Bills,
a DeMar
right?
game. It's the DeMar game.
It is the DeMar game.
You know we're gonna get peppered with it. They're gonna try to win this one big time. They've been struggling mightily all year.
That's what I'm saying.
They need a come to. Never mind. They
Yeah.
need to come together as a team
You're
here.
you're stepping on lines, dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say come to
Come
you
to
know.
Jesus. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. No, they
Yeah.
don't. No, they don't.
Yeah.
Tomorrow was close. But shout out that he's gonna be there. Does he play? I don't know. It'll be interesting, but yeah, this is gonna be the moment for this team that they need to go and pull this together where would be a huge win for them on a Bengals team that's been kind of coming together as a squad down the last couple games here, getting healthy. And if the Bills can go from a team that's been struggling left and right and pull it together, and all of a sudden the outlook for the rest of the season goes from, hey, what are we going to do, to, hey, we can compete. We can go and be a top team in this AFC still, even with all of our struggles. So, yeah.
I think my last point off of it, but again, you haven't answered my question, but my last point is, dude, if they don't win this game, I think that they've kind of solidified that this is Miami's division to win. I mean, them beating the Pats, a team that always plays Miami super hard. I think that if you don't show that you can run with the Bengals here, a team who's had a very late start to the season, if you don't show that you can run with them and possibly beat them, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, no.
But my question is everyone putting money on that pick? Are they hammering? I don't think that anyone's hammering the Bengals.
I mean, we gotta look it up. I feel right? I mean, what Vegas money?
What is the money line right now? I mean, the money line, it's even, dude. Minus 130, plus
No,
108.
Bengals, Bills. Betting trends. It looks like. Why are there so many different numbers here? I don't like this. Oh, of course, you got to pay to be able to see it. Sorry.
Maybe I don't touch that
I
game,
feel
dog.
like it's pretty. I feel like it's definitely got to be pretty even.
Yeah.
We're looking at this as a Friday afternoon, 6:30. So I mean,
I like you know what, dude? I might go crazy here because the money's better. I like the Bills to win that game. This is a desperation game
yeah,
for
this
them,
is an
dude.
earthquake. It's an earthquake.
A money
It's
line.
an
The first ever money line. The first ever money line earthquake.
yeah.
Seriously. Wow. Okay. All right. So then I got one more to give. Bills money line.
Yeah, because I was just looking at a bunch of these other games and like I was kind of hoping Houston would be catching points, but they're
Yeah, I know,
not.
but they're not. They're
I
not.
I was kind of hoping like I if Washington was getting more
More.
points,
Yeah.
then I'd be on them.
Mm-hmm.
If
But everybody's betting that game though, dude. You know everyone's
maybe
taking
maybe
Washington.
the Cardinals, maybe if
I'm
the
gonna
Colt,
yeah.
wow, if yeah,
I know what my last one is though. I got my last pick.
yeah, go ahead.
Without a doubt, Vikings plus the 3.5. Coming off the Kirk Cousins injury. Shout out Creed. Shout out Kirk Cousins. They get the kid out of Arizona.
Taylor Heineke though, his first game back,
Vikings plus the 3.5. Vikings plus the
I
three and a
like
half.
Heineke. No Drake London though. What's up with Bijan? Do I trade for him in my one fantasy league?
No, he hasn't been able to put it together enough.
Well, it's the coach, man. The coach has been splitting the carries. It's wild what they're
I
doing
know.
there. What's up with that offense? They have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, all top 10 picks
Picks.
offensively, and then none of them are featured parts of their offense. It's insane. Insane.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if Bijan was on, listen, if Bijan was on the Jets, that would, you know what I'm saying? Like it would be crazy if he was on the Bills. I mean, and the Bills just go get Fat Lenny. Did you
If
see, by the way, he cut his shorts so short to show his Johnson in the latest photo that they posted of him, dude. He took his spandex shorts for his first practice and brought them up to the crotch. Okay, to the crotch. I mean, you can see that thing fucking hanging. And it's crazy, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, I'm getting lost in the sauce. To our overs and our faves. Let's talk about it, dude. Um, I'll tell you, man. I don't like the way that they're gonna win that game.
Can I say something first while you think?
Please. I have my pick, but go ahead.
The Texans, I've been on them all year. We're a pro
Mm-hmm.
Texans podcast here.
We are
Like I was saying,
red,
if
white,
the
and blue.
Texans were an underdog, I'm taking them all day, every day. But I don't like them being a favorite. You know,
Mm.
I don't like them kind of catching it a little bit here where they're expected to win. I like them when they're not. And then that's the only reason why I'm not going to touch them at the 3 points, where it's just a different vibe. They're finally expected to go and take care of business. This feels like a game where they might kind of disappoint. They turn the ball over a couple
Yeah.
times, what they haven't been doing all year long.
Yeah.
And it's an ugly bloodbath. And Baker Mayfield comes out of there with a win all of a sudden. You're like, what? What just happened in the 1 o'clock slate?
What just happened? Sure. Do you like the over in that game? Not many points, 45, 40,
40.
40, straight up 40, excuse me.
I just think that it's going to be ugly though. It's my only thing.
Yeah, you think it's a lot of drop passes,
Yeah,
a lot of
drop
drop passes, a lot of
passes.
fumbles, a lot
Yeah,
of
just
sacks, a lot of offensive line
maybe a
deficiencies.
couple interceptions by both
Yeah.
quarterbacks. Because
Yep.
Stroud's been great. That's what's made him so great, is not turning the football over. But they're coming off coming off the loss to the Panthers last week.
Mm.
Yeah, I just don't see this offense being able to click that much. I don't know, man. But they got weapons, man. I like the Texans.
Out of respect, we're going to stay away. Hey, what did I tell you? What did I tell you about that Ravens game last week, dude? I said out of respect, we love the Ravens on this
Yeah.
podcast. Couldn't touch that. What ends up happening? They're covering all three. They're covering for 3/4, and in the end of it, the Cardinals cover.
Yeah.
Ravens won by 7. Cardinals covered the 9.5.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question before we keep going with the overs and faves, dude. Did we miss out on probably the easiest pick so far of football so far? Did we miss out on the easiest pick? Did we miss out on under 38.5 Cardinals to the road to the Browns? I mean, is that not the easiest pick right now in football?
Over?
Under. I mean,
Cardinals
dude,
on the road to the Browns.
those defenses are going to play tough, dog.
Oh. Did we miss out on it? I don't
Did we
know.
miss out on that?
I don't know. I don't like unders.
I know you don't. You get desperate. You do. You go, come on, team, score.
Desperate.
Um,
Sorry, I like points. Sorry, I like touchdowns. I'm a red-blooded American.
I know you are, dog. All right. I like the Colts minus the 2.5. No, actually, excuse me. Before that,
No, I like
give
that.
well, no, I'll give 2. Colts minus the 2.5, and I think arguably the easiest pick. I'm gonna go alternate spread. Eagles minus a touchdown.
Yeah, you like that.
Yeah, I mean that people are giving the Cowboys that they think that they can keep it within 3 because they beat up on the Rams is the most idiotic play I've ever seen.
I like that you said that. Because I got burned a little bit last week going with the alternate spread on the Eagles, where I had it. I was on the money.
Yeah.
But no, I was thinking the same exact thing, dude. That if the Eagles win this football game, it's going to be by at least a touchdown. I don't see this as a field goal game, just pure offensive wise. Like these teams are either going to go for it in the red zone and they're not kicking field goals, or they're going to just put it in, and the over is going to be way over in this football.
I'm going to do Eagles minus 6.5.
Yeah.
Are you riding that with me?
Yeah, I'll ride it.
Okay. That's an alt spread. I do. I love the Eagles here. Or are you just going to take them at their regular? I mean, I think you take them at the regular.
I'll take the 6.5.
All right. Out of respect. What are you doing? What are you doing?
And over Eagles, Dallas, 46.
Wow. Okay. Over 46. So you don't think the defense comes to play here then?
I think the Eagles are going to give up. They're going to give up 21 points, I think.
Wow.
But
that is a bad look.
No, this offense is going to put up 30 plus easily.
You think?
They've been doing it all year, Harry. Look at their numbers.
Yeah, but this is an in-division rival, dude. It's a different type of game.
Yeah, but it's different. The Eagles can wagon this team. I know they can. At home, 425 spot. They're going to wagon them.
I'm rethinking my alternate spread.
Why? Because I said that?
Because it's an in-division game. No. It's a tough game.
Ride it.
All right, ride it. All right, I'm giving so you already put 2 in. We each got 1 more to give. Ravens minus the 5. No,
I
actually
like
no.
the Colts. I like the Colts that you were saying.
You're taking that. That's your last one then? Okay.
Yeah, 2.5.
Okay. You're taking the Colts then 2 minus 2.5. Dude, you can't stop fucking taking my mojo today. All right, I got 1 more. I got 1 more. I don't like the Ravens to win by 5.5. Actually, I like them winning off a JT kick, so I'm not taking that.
A JT kick cross up too, or
out of respect, you know how he rolls, dog. Come on, you know how we roll in this play, boy. Chiefs minus the 1.5. I'll ride him. Mahomes has got to step up here, dude. I mean,
I don't have a feel for that game, man.
I don't either, except for the fact that I definitely don't think the over hits. I think the under would be guaranteed.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a low scoring game too. Just travel, everything else involved in this game. If this was in Kansas City or in Miami, I like it at a 4:00 game, and we're running points all day long. But just with everything else involved, no T Swift. Do you think she goes to Germany or no?
Oh, totally. She's there. She's done.
You think so? She's taking the private jet.
She's there. She's out of respect. She's there. She owns her own jet, dog. Come on.
No, we're running out of juice here.
What?
We're running out of juice. Or
You
I
know
am at
what?
least.
Yeah. Well, get your money up before you get your funny up. You heard me? Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. All right, locks. Let's go.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I've been jumping all over it early.
I said it before. I'll say it again. The Jets, Jets, plus the 3.5. This is a team that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, they are showing very much in the season who they could be with the right team. I took them last week. Not only did they cover, they destroyed my plus the 3 at home. They won the first Battle of East Ruth. Now they're going to LA. They're seeing Justin Herb. They're seeing the other side of the ball. Khalil Mack is going to have a day. We know this, but we also know that Sauce Gardner is going to be taking it to the crib. As a matter of fact, if the weather lady had a nice little pick, given that FanDuel now lets you bet certain defensive players, I would say Sauce Gardner anytime touchdown would be tremendo. Yeah, I love it. I love the Jets plus the 3.5. That's my lock.
Talking about the weather girl, she just throws in a pick. Jonathan Taylor,
JT,
anytime touchdown.
anytime. Out of respect.
She hit again last week in
I know
ETN.
you know how, dude, I was watching highlights and I said, and I'm watching while I'm watching prime time. I go, fuck. And somebody goes, what? And I go, I was supposed to bet that. That was the weather girl's play. And I forgot to bet it.
Yeah.
I did. I forgot
She's
to
red
bet
hot. I think she's what? I think she's 6-1. She missed 1
6-1.
week.
Yep.
Yeah, she's on fire.
She
Now
don't-
some say she's picking a little chalky, but if it wins, it wins.
Hey,
all right.
If it wins, it wins. Give us your
I
lock,
think JT
Trill.
is definitely due for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gotten in the end zone yet this year, has he?
No, I don't think he has
Zach
either.
Moss has been kind of stealing some touchdowns there.
Yeah, he's on an OBJ type run.
In honor of that, I'm gonna take. Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
They got to buy this week, don't they?
Who?
Jags?
Colts? The Jags.
No, sorry. Yeah, Jags do. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm thinking of an
Colts.
division rival. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a tough slate.
I know. You got to wonder what do you do here? You know what I mean? I like that Patriots minus the 2.5. I'll tell you.
I was looking at the other side of it.
See, I think everyone's going to bet that though.
Yeah.
Everyone's betting the Commanders after the way that they played.
I'm leaving
after
it.
the way they played. Okay.
I'm leaving it. Yeah, I had Peyton, Sam Howell Manning on the brain there.
All right, come on, we're losing juice. Let's go.
Over 37.5. Minnesota, Atlanta.
Ooh.
I think there's enough offensive weapons on both of these teams to give you some points. I think the Falcons can score it with Heineke. And Josh Dobbs getting in there. New offense, new this, new that. If he starts, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to start. You still got Addison. You got Hawkinson. Their defenses both aren't that great. I like that. I like that a lot.
Let's hit the parlay. We know what we're doing. Bills money line, of course. Colts minus the 2.5, of course. I like the under. I like that under that Seattle-Baltimore game.
All right.
Unless you don't.
No, I like it.
Or do we do Eags minus the 6.5?
Okay.
Okay.
Nah, too much on that game.
Yeah, that's too much.
I'm all over it already. I like the Jets. We like that Monday night.
I love that.
15 wins you 176.
No, we didn't put a third one in.
What? Bills, Colts.
Or sorry, Bills, Colts, Jets. We need a fourth.
Oh, hold up. Colts,
Vikings.
What? Colts money line or
no? Colts minus the 2.5.
Yeah.
Or do we do
Baltimore?
Giants?
I thought 44 under.
We want to play an under. I don't know if we want to put an under in a. No, you know what? No, screw that. Yes, under. Yep. 44.5.
15 wins you 192.
Nice.
Shout out.
Another episode in the bank. We love you. Wish my mother a happy birthday in the comments. We'll talk to you guys all later. Shout
Wish
out our
my parents a
troops.
happy birthday. Their birthday was last week. They were on a cruise. I was all by myself. They
I
had
forgot
fun
about
though.
that, but you loved it. You loved driving them up there. You drove them up to Brooklyn. Shout out Cold One's Conversation. Shout out the drink. Shout out Philly drinkers. We love you. Go Birds. Go Rave.
Go Birds. Ladies and gentlemen, I absolutely called. I said, Harry, give me something for the thumbnail. I said
Creed
he's
for
gonna put
life.
I Heart Creed, and that's exactly he put Creed on the piece of paper. That's how much we're rolling here. All right,
That's
I
what
knew
we do.
exactly what was going on.
All
All
right.
right.
I love your body. Peace.